1 in every 5 people you see right now will be over the age of 65 by 2050. And that number will completely destroy everything we know about the economy. Hello. Today I'm going to tell you a big secret. Welcome to economic history. This is where previously unknown facts about how money, power, and economic conditions have shaped our present world are revealed. There is a climate crisis. There is artificial intelligence. There are geopolitical tensions. All of these are real threats. But there is something else that world leaders, economists, and central bankers are losing sleep over: an aging population. And this is not just about sadly saying, oh, there are too many old people in the world. This is about the fundamental engine of the modern economy beginning to stop. Are you ready? Because this video is going to make you uncomfortable, but at the same time, it will help you see some things much more clearly. First, let's go back a little. In 1950, only 5% of the world's population was over the age of 65. In 2024, that figure reached 10%. In 2050, 16%. Sounds like a small difference, right? It's not, because it means billions of people leaving working life and starting to draw from retirement systems. Look at Japan. Nearly 30% of its population is over 65. Right now in Japan, the dog walking industry has surpassed the baby diaper industry. Think about that. A country produces more for the elderly than for babies. This is not just a cultural issue. It's an economic alarm bell. I need to explain a concept called the demographic dividend. Why did economies grow so much in the 20th century? Because there was a huge young working population. Factories were full, consumption was rising, taxes were flowing into government treasuries, pension systems were strong because 10 workers were financing one retiree. What's happening now? 2 workers are trying to finance one retiree. By 2050, in some countries, this ratio will become 1-to-1. That means you will work, but nearly half of what you earn will go toward the retirement system. And the system cannot survive that. It is mathematically impossible. An aging population is bombing the economy from 3 different directions. Let's go through them one by one. Bomb 1. The collapse of pension systems. The pension system works like a pyramid. The broad base at the bottom, the workers, supports the small group at the top, the retirees. But the bottom of the pyramid is shrinking. The base is narrowing. According to the IMF's 2023 report, pension funds in the vast majority of advanced economies will face serious deficits by the 2040s. What this means is, either the retirement age will continuously rise, or pensions will steadily lose real value, or taxes will increase dramatically. And most likely, all 3 will happen at the same time. Bomb 2. The explosion of healthcare costs. An aging population equals more disease, equals more hospitals, equals exploding government budgets. According to OECD data, the healthcare cost of a person over 65 is 5 to 8 times higher than that of someone under 30. Japan is currently spending 11% of its GDP on healthcare. By 2050, that figure will rise to 18%. So who will pay for it? A shrinking tax base? Bomb 3. The slowdown of consumption. Older people spend less. This is a very simple but very critical fact. The engine of the economy is consumption. People buy houses, buy cars, go on vacations, buy technology products. But are you 70 years old? You're not buying a new house. You're not taking out loans. You're not making major purchases, which means demand falls. Growth slows down. Deflation comes knocking. Japan experienced this. They call it the lost decades. But in reality, it became 30 lost years. And what Japan looks like today is what Europe and North America will look like tomorrow. Now I know what question is in your mind. Okay, if the population is aging, can't we just bring in young people through immigration? Doesn't that solve the problem? Great question. And partly true, but it's not enough. Here's why. First, immigration is becoming politically harder and harder. Every country is closing its doors and building walls. The era of free migration is ending. Second, the source countries are aging too. You import labor from the Philippines, India, Africa. But these countries' populations are also beginning to age rapidly. 30 years from now, where will the young migrants come from? Third, and most importantly, immigration has never happened on the scale necessary to close the demographic gap. The numbers simply don't add up. Wait a minute. What about artificial intelligence? Robots can work and we can relax. And this is where the discussion becomes really interesting. Yes, automation increases productivity. Yes, one robot can do the work of 10 workers. But you have to ask this question. Does a robot pay taxes? It doesn't. It doesn't contribute to Social Security. It doesn't finance the pension system. And more importantly, automation destroys low-skilled employment, which further weakens the already fragile middle class. Artificial intelligence is not a solution. On top of everything else, it adds a new layer of pressure. Of course, there is also an optimistic scenario. Maybe one day there will be a robot tax. Maybe a universal basic income system will be established. But today's system cannot function based on maybe. So what will happen? That's what you're really wondering, isn't it? Okay. If things are this bad, what's going to happen? There are a few scenarios. Scenario 1, slow erosion. Systems don't collapse, but they continuously worsen. The retirement age rises to 70. Salaries decline in real terms. Healthcare quality deteriorates. Living standards are quietly lowered. Nobody says the system collapsed, but everyone lives a little poorer and a little more insecure. Scenario 2. Crisis moment. At some point, a major country's pension fund collapses, or a government stops paying its debts, and this triggers a financial shock bigger than 2008. Scenario 3. Radical reform. Systems are redesigned. The concept of retirement changes. New generation work models emerge, but this requires political will and social consensus. And right now, we don't see that anywhere. Which scenario is most likely? Probably a mix of 1 and 2. Now let me tell you the most important thing. This video is not meant to scare you. It's meant to help you understand the system. Because the person who understands this transformation can both plan their own financial future better and participate more consciously in social discussions. Do not rely solely on the pension system. Save money yourself. Invest yourself. Follow sectors with low demographic pressure. Healthcare technology, elderly care, automation, these will grow. And most importantly, talk about this issue. Because the demographic crisis is a crisis growing silently. If this video taught you something new, share it with a friend. Maybe there's something they also need to know here. See you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.